So it's getting very late in the day. It's about 6 o'clock, I think, something like that. Yeah, about 6 o'clock. Sun's going down. It's getting very cloudy. Rain is forecast tonight, so I'm hoping to get home in the dry. Just had my first service done on the Triumph Street Triple RS. Absolutely loving this thing at the moment. Had a Brogue tail tidy fitted and LEDs on the rear. I wanted to get the front ones fitted, but unfortunately they've changed the design, and so I'm going to have to contact the company and get their design once they've modified them, get some updates. I also ordered resistor kit. Resistors aren't required according to my mechanic, and certainly the rear indicators are blinking in an acceptable speed. They are super bright, and I'm very happy with the overall look. And in terms of the bike, yeah, I've already released a few videos of this in the last week or so. Look out for those. Just search on Richard.Dunn ride on Triumph Street Triple RS and you'll find them. So a few videos on them, on the bike riding and off the bike, talking about it. And I have to be a little bit cautious not to oh, it's got really windy this afternoon. I have to kind of rein in my thoughts a little, because it's really hard to talk about this bike with any kind of any degree of negativity. It's phenomenally good at everything, and I'm extremely happy with it so far. I filled out the Triumph customer satisfaction survey yesterday, and I gave some really glowing positive feedback about my dealership, Triumph Roswell. They look after me, good guys. And so big shout out to Gordy and Trent and Aaron and Colin and Cliff and Jason. Everybody there is just wonderful. And of course I gave glowing praise about the bike itself, which is just epic, really, basically. The only negative thing I had to say was that there's 4 themes for the dashboard. I like this dashboard with the digital rev counter, for instance, and I just wish that one of them was for people that need reading glasses, because when you ride, of course, you can see good distance. That's not an issue, so people that wear reading glasses don't wear their glasses to ride. But it does mean that things that are information that's close up, right under your nose, it's difficult to read, and the tiny information at the top of the right hand screen gives you really critical information, like your range remaining, the amount of miles you've got till you run out of gas, and what the current time is, and what the ambient temperature is outside, you know. So that's key information, and you can barely see it at standstill, never mind at speed. No chance at speed. Whereas they've duplicated, say, the rev counter. They've got a bar chart showing the rev counter and rev counter, you know, in digital text. That suggests to me, huge assumption, but it suggests to me that they've got a young car driving software developer who hasn't a clue how riders really ride or what information is important to them, and has just designed something that they thought looked nice on their huge 27-inch you know, Mac screen. And the reality is, we just want the key information. Let's not be too clever about it. Let's just give the key information clearly, so we can spend less time looking at the dashboard and more time looking at the road. But with that said, I mean, I'm really clutching at straws to find something to say that I don't like about this bike. I mean, I can barely see my elbows in the mirrors, which are pretty clear. That works superbly. And you know, in terms of the key stuff, the ride quality, the braking power and feel, the smoothness of the engine, the slickness of the bi-directional shifter, the incredible handling and agility of the chassis, and the sheer grip from the Pirelli Supercorsas. I mean, it's just butter. It's just so nice. As road bikes go, this is just for me personally, this is a perfect balance of power to weight and, you know, functional ability. And it's not as though to achieve that they've had to make it look ugly. I think it looks fantastic. Everybody is in raptures about this cosmic yellow colour. To me, it's the best colour Triumph have done in donkey years. It's just so nice. When the sun shines on it, it really pops, and you get that honey and orange and metallic reflection coming through. And I love the look of it visually from the front, where you've got the praying mantis headlights. It's a real kind of futuristic digital insectoid look, and the daytime running lights are very nice, and the high beam is pretty bright as well, so I really like that. What else? Well, actually at the first service I've had the heated grips fitted, and these are the Triumph ones that have built, the control is built into the grip itself, which I always think is such a nice touch compared with other manufacturers that clutter up their switchgear with a dedicated button. The button being built into the heated grips is great. I dare say it will be 1, 2, no, off, not sure, 1, just trying to find out how many modes I've got in my heated grips. It's probably 2 or 3, so let me see. Press it once, press it twice, oh yeah, press it 3 times. Yeah, I think it's 3-stage heated grips, and they're a godsend on a chilly morning. And I've also got cruise control on order, but the Triumph cruise control is on back order and it's out about 6 weeks. As we're coming into summer, I almost wish that was the other way around and I had cruise control, not heated grips, but you know, either way, it's all good. So what else can I tell you really, other than the fact I'm delighted with it and love it. It's really hard, as I say, to kind of make these initial videos when I'm in the honeymoon period, let's face it, but also it's such a Triumph have got this bike so right that it really is difficult to criticise, you know. And you'll find that with the other videos from not just journalists at the launch, not just racers at the launch, but also now getting in the hands of private owners in terms of their feedback, what they think. And yeah, God, it's good, you know. I'm really glad in theory that I didn't go with the BMW M1000R competition. My friend has one, and don't get me wrong, it's a stunning bike, and I've got 2 friends with M1000RRs as well, brand new for this year, and they look incredible and they have monstrous power, and the spec is awesome, and all power to them for that. You know, they've got what they wanted, and they're really nice bikes, and I'm made up for them. But for me personally, this has been a really good decision. It's half the price of an M1000R competition or the Ducati Street Fighter V4S, which has had a nice update for this year, and I'm super delighted. I think if the V4 SP Street Fighter was available for 30 grand, I'd have bought it, just because I'm so vain it looks incredible. But being closer to 40 grand out the door, and probably 50 by the time you get it the way you want it, that's really impossible to justify. And really the M1000R competition, it's hard to justify over 30 grand out the door. this at half the price really does satisfy at least 95% of what I would have gained in enjoyment from those bikes, for me personally, and in some ways a little bit more. Now, why would I say that a little bit more? Well, you know, I've owned a Street Fighter V4S, and I've owned plenty of good handling bikes like R1s and, you know, a bunch of CBRs, some of the fastest bikes in the world. I've owned all of that, and I can honestly say, hand on heart, because this is so much more usable, because it is so better balanced, because the power is ample without being kind of violent and brutal, it works with you rather than against you. It flatters you rather than hampers you. You can throw a little bit of abandonment to what you're doing and change lines late and have a lot of fun with it without it you know, biting you big time. And I think in that respect, oh, run little squirrel, run. I think in that respect, it's a little bit more rewarding, and not everyone will see it that way, but I think for some of you that sometimes think less is more, like it's more fun, you know, being able to use a lighter bike with less power than something that is kind of stroking your ego a bit, for want of a better expression, then you'll probably agree with me, and then others of course won't. And you know, leave the difference. That's why we've got choice, and choice is a good thing, like the sound of this. That's not bad at half revs, is it? Not bad at all at half revs. Get a nice induction roar off this. Hello, Mr. Deer. The exhaust isn't that loud. I'd heard it's a lot louder this year. Maybe people that have on the launch on the racetrack think, wow, this is loud, because they're, you know, giving it 12,000 revs through the gears. But on the road, I really don't notice much difference between this and my friends, you know, 2022 in Europe, stroke 2023 in America, R model. It sounds all much of a muchness, but I kind of like that. I've had a bit of a migraine this afternoon, and it's kind of nice that this isn't blaring out at 120 decibels. Anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'll just bore you to tears with how much I'm in lust with this bike. It really is absolutely epic, and I love it more than life itself at the moment. So that's it. Sayonara.
Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.